Alive.
Right, great. Welcome to another episode of Brainwashed by the Pop Culture. I'm still Jan Kalina, and here is still Tom Coco
I'm still
from
Tom
across.
Cook. Tommy. I'm still Tommy Coco.
Tommy Coco. All right, okay. Why did change your name?
I don't know. I've been going by Tommy for the last 2 years. I preferred it. I used to go by Tommy when I was a kid. Then I switched to Tom because I wanted to be a bit more fancy. But I reverted back.
Fancy, huh? So it is like Johnny Depp.
What, Tommy? It's
Yeah,
like a
Tommy,
yeah,
Tommy Coco.
yeah.
It's like Tom is too formal and serious.
Formal, yeah. A formal attire. I don't want to do it anymore. Anyway, what's the topic?
Anyway.
What are we talking about today?
Maybe I want to go back to Nicolas Cage for a start. It's just like the basic intro, and missed out some stuff. I felt bad that we didn't talk about Cage. We didn't talk about what I think is his best film.
Okay.
I missed that. We just talked about his action films, and I mean they were cool, but that's like one phase of his career.
All right. So what do you think is his best film?
I think his best film is The Matchstick Man.
The Matchstick Man. Okay.
Here, case in
Okay.
point.
All right.
And
Tell
I
us
think
about
it's
Matchstick Man. I'm actually I don't even remember. I don't know if I've seen Matchstick Man. So tell us about it.
Matchstick Man is a movie is one of those con man films, kind of like Sting. But so they're running this operation with Nicolas Cage and Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell being, his usual affable, charming as he usually is. I don't think he dances in that film. Rockwell is known that he always dances in every film. He's a
Oh,
magnificent dancer.
yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Anyway, and and Nicolas Cage has he has some anxiety disorder, kind of OCD as well. So
Yes,
he notices
I have,
this
I've seen this
stuff.
film. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and he goes like completely berserk, or he's just like completely off the rail when like something's not right in the room. So that doesn't really work when he on the schemes that he does. But anyway, they're doing them most of the time through the phone.
Hmm.
And as it goes on, uh, there's a knock on the door, and his daughter that he's never seen before shows up at the door,
Right.
and that she's sent there by her mother, if I recall correctly. And well,
Mm-hmm.
she wants to spend some time with her dad. And I don't think she spends there the whole time, and I think she always like goes, for the night back to her mom or something. Well, anyway, I wouldn't want to spoil that what
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah.
but
I
uh,
I'm remembering this ending now, and it's a good one. So yeah. We won't spoil it.
but anyway, it's a nice story about him finding his way to the long lost daughter. So there's that relationship, and well, also well, there con man schemes. Will they meet their due, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Why I think it's his best film. So there is a thing which I came up with. There's a Nicolas Cage test of a director. If you are a good director, you can have Nicolas Cage in your film, and if you can utilize his energy, insanity in a right way, so it doesn't seem like, oh, this is just another Nicolas Cage bonkers performance, then you're a good director. And there are some, so the action films that we mentioned,
Hmm.
for sure, I would believe that, hey, Michael Bay in The Rock, good director.
Hmm.
So Matchstick Man, Ridley Scott, I believe that's his best film because it's very grounded, it's very real, and the emotions are relatable in that film. Like you can relate to like all the troubles that Nicolas Cage's character has, and given the anxieties that he has, and also connecting to well, long lost family.
Yeah, yeah, I remember this one and the way that he plays the personality traits are really with whatever you I guess it's some form of OCPD, right? Obsessive compulsive personality disorder, needing everything to be just exact, clean, spotless, disinfected. He
Mm-hmm.
plays all that so well, akin to like the DiCaprio performance in The Aviator. Different take. Um,
Take, yes. I don't know if what Howard Hughes had uh was was OCD at that level. I think it was like mixed in with a bunch of things,
well,
like
I'll take
paranoia and stuff like that.
I'll take the opportunity to draw a distinction between OCD and OCPD as well. So OCD is more this obsessive compulsive personality disorder. That's when you
Okay,
think a certain thing, intrusive thoughts, and you need to act on those thoughts with some sort of compulsion. I
so
don't
that's
even know.
missing.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's necessarily what's in Matchstick Men either, because Matchstick Men is more about order. Nicolas Cage needs everything to be
Yes,
just so, right?
it's that superficial OCD that people know. I
So
know it's
right.
kind
So
of
the
exaggerated in
technical
that film, but
term
still,
the
it's a
technical
nice.
term for that is actually it's actually not OCD. Like if you go to the DSM, it's OCPD, which is obsessive compulsive personality disorder. It's a small distinction, but that's
Okay,
about cleanliness and organization and hygiene. Having everything be just so designed and
all
perfect.
right,
So
all
there's
right.
there are like cleanliness things with OCD where it's like if I don't wash my hands, I'm gonna die because of the germs and bacteria. So it's a fine line, but OCPD is mostly just order and like keeping everything clean. Exact. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I didn't know. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I did,
It
but
crosses
I didn't
over a
think about
bit.
it that way.
There's some crossover functions, but then you could have someone with OCD who like um, has a thought about you know not stepping on a crack in the concrete, as in that that step in the concrete is going to kill their family, so they can't step on that. So the intrusive thought leads to the compulsion, which is the avoidance of stepping on the crack. That's just one example. There's also other things like if I think this word, then I'm gonna have a compulsion. Something bad's gonna happen, so my compulsion is to prevent myself from thinking that. Create rituals, stuff like that. My tangent's over.
Right. Well, I guess to move back to movies, um, I would like to recommend two more films from Kate,
Sure.
which I'm not sure if they're that known. One of them is Red Rock West. It's this neo noir film. Like he's just like a drifter. He's looking for a job, and he ends up at this desolate town. And he comes to a bar, and the bartender asks him, if he's there for the job.
Sure.
Which I don't know. Sure,
I'm here for the
whatever,
job.
man. I'll do it. Yeah, I'm the guy.
Yeah. I came here
And
for the job.
and it ends up that he's supposed to like kill some guy's wife. And
Uh-huh.
then when he goes to that mansion, well, the wife already knows like what's supposed to happen, so she like talks him into killing the husband.
Uh,
So,
uh,
and in a good noir fashion, uh, they fall in love, and then they try to like skip town, right? The true killer shows up, and so they're hunting them down, and it's so good. It
yeah.
doesn't feature the usual Nick Cage freakouts, although it has that one. If you remember that Nicolas Cage losing his shit compilation, and there's that bit, fuck Mexico. That's Red Rock West.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess I don't remember I
We
remember
gotta
this.
we gotta we gotta throw a link in the comments of Nicolas Cage losing his shit compilations of some kind, because those are great. Just where he's losing his shit in a film, like A, B, C, D, like, fantastic.
I
Not
still
the
haven't seen
bees,
it.
not the bees.
Anyway, and right, and Raising Arizona.
Okay, you mentioned that one.
Have you
Yeah.
seen that?
I actually don't think I've seen that one, so I have seen Matchstick
So
Men.
it's a like a it's like a cartoon film, but live action.
Mm,
So he's like this ex-con who just got out of prison, and he falls in love with the warden at the prison.
okay.
Or is it the cop that arrested him? The cop that arrested him. And well, yeah. Afterwards, they try to start a family,
Yeah.
but they can't. And and then they decide, the mayor's wife, she has too many kids. She doesn't deserve it. So they kidnap the baby, and it's all very goofy. And then there's this killer from hell who tries to, like, get the baby back for the mayor, and it's just Coen Brothers, man. I mean, I don't know how they did it at the beginning of their career. Like, they had like that neo noir film as their first film, and they could switch so easily between genres,
Hmm, hmm.
which I think is a good segue into
Oh, Warner Brothers, yeah.
what
And I
uh,
want
what what I
to,
want to talk about. I guess what is the most beloved Coen Brothers film, um, The Big Lebowski.
all right. Now we're going into my
All
expertise.
right. Well, do you want to open with Big Lebowski? Why is it so beloved? Is my question. I mean, everybody knows that film. I'm not
Everybody's
gonna.
heard it. Everybody's heard the name. Not everybody's seen the film, right?
Oh well, yeah. I am working with someone on a short film, and they haven't seen that film.
We got to keep in mind as well. There's
So
categories of Lebowski's, right? So of like, well, you have your achievers. Like there's the cult of the achievers, right? So if you go on Wikipedia, there's actually a Church of the Achievers, and it's the Big Lebowski Church, and you can get certified and actually be ordained to be a minister at weddings, using the philosophy of dudism. But then you have people who are like, all right, this is a pretty good film. I'm gonna watch a couple times, and people are like, all right, it's funny. I don't love it, and then people who just don't get it,
I
people who haven't
I
seen it.
I don't really know what his philosophy would be.
Well, I
Like
think
if I would have
uh,
a religion based on the dude, what's his philosophy? Just like
you know,
let everybody live, I guess, is the
be the
philosophy.
man. That once in every generation, there's a dude. He's the dude of his time. You know, and that's the dude, right? You remember that scene where the tumbleweed is blowing in the wind, and the guy with that voice, the guy with the cowboy hat, I don't remember the name of the actor. He's just like, on every generation, there's a man. That man is the man of
Sam
his.
Elliott.
What's his name?
Sam Elliott
Sam Elliott. He's like, that
as a
man is
narrator.
of his time. That man was the dude. This is fantastic. All right, so synopsis of the film. Well, we
So
open.
he's a slacker. He does bowling. I don't really, he doesn't have a job. It's not specified what job it
He's
is.
had a few different jobs. So, you ever
I
heard of
don't
the
think he
Chicago?
has. I think he just have some like heirloom money. I mean,
Wait, what do
that's
you
what they
want?
wanted to
So,
write in the script, but then they didn't.
isn't there that one point where he's like, "Have you ever heard of the Chicago Five or something like that?" Or maybe not Chicago Five. What is it? It's
Well, that's what he doesn't have a job. He's just
there's that scene where he basically goes into describing the careers that he has, right? So he's like, well, I spent most of my time in college smoking weed, occupying various administrative buildings.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That he's like, had a short stint as a screenwriter or something like that. And he's like, have you ever heard the Chicago Five or something? That was me. I don't know if it's Chicago Five or something else, but I don't think it's Chicago Five because that's a film, Chicago Six. Um,
You're right, yeah.
yeah. Anyway, the point is that um, it opens with him sitting in his bathtub smoking weed. Something the dude loves to do. He's smoking weed. He's hitting his pipe. I don't know if he has a white Russian with him at that point. And anyway, he hears this noise come out of nowhere. People break into his house, and it's these nihilists. And one of the guys takes a piss on his rug, and he goes, Jeffrey Lebowski, or whatever. And time to pay up, Lebowski. Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the money, Lebowski? And that starts the whole film. It's basically him trying to figure out what happened to his rug. Someone pissed on it, and he wants to replace the rug. And that's how it commences. Basically, him trying, and then he tracks down this other guy named Jeffrey Lebowski, the Big Lebowski, and the story commences with him basically trying to figure out where his rug is, get it replaced. But then the Big Lebowski says that his wife has been kidnapped. So then the dude has to help to find Bunny, the wife, and it intertwines with scenes of them bowling with Donnie and what's the other guy's name?
Walter.
Walter. And yeah, so I mean,
Walter Sobchak.
the movie really doesn't move toward
Vietnam veteran.
What's that?
He's a Vietnam vet.
In the film, yep, exactly.
I think it's important to his
yeah
to his character.
So the movie is basically, it doesn't really have any definitive ending if you think about it. It just sort of reaches this sort of half crescendo and pans out. I don't really know what we're supposed to take from it. There's a lot of things that we can analyze and say we're supposed to take this from it. But what I take is just pure enjoyment and fantastic one-liners. I think the movie's really great because of the just various memorable lines it has. Lines that you can take and bring on into your life and just like brings you joy wherever you are. Like, so one of, obviously the classic, Donnie, you're out of your fucking element, Donnie. You're out of your element. So that's Walter. Steve Buscemi plays Donnie.
There's a theory by the fans that because Donnie doesn't interact with anyone except from Walter. That he's part of Walter's imagination, and that he was a friend that died in Vietnam.
Interesting. Okay.
So like he's still like processing that grief, and then like I don't know why would the theory made sense. Why would he die by the nihilists at that point? And then they would scatter the ashes afterwards. But like maybe that was the point when Walter finally made peace.
Interesting.
I like that theory because it adds another layer to Walter, that he's not just mean to his friend.
There's multiple layers to Walter for sure. I mean, the fact that he holds on to his wife so much, even though that they've been divorced for like 10 years, he's like.
Well, he is stuck in the past, so that theory makes a lot of sense. It
makes a lot of sense, yeah. I mean, he's actually a figure of trauma if you think about it. And the point, that there's also the classic, I don't fucking roll on Shabbos. I told that asshole down at the league office 7 times, I don't fucking roll on Shabbos. And Donnie's like, what's Shabbos, Walter? Why don't you roll on Shabbos, Walter? And then he's like, I'm Shomer Shabbos, Donnie. So what does that mean? Means I don't cook, I don't drive, and I'm misquoting probably, and I sure as shit don't fucking roll. It's just great. And then at some point, the dude's like, Walter, you're not even fucking Jewish, man. And Walter's like, I converted when I married my wife or whatever. And the Pomeranian that he watches, he watches the Pomeranian dog, even though he's not with his wife anymore, and it's his wife's dog. So it's just classic stuff like that. Uh-oh, we've lost some connectivity here. Can you hear me there, Jan? All right, so we are going to take a quick break here, and we'll cut this back. Here, there you are. Okay, so we'll have to edit that point, but we'll move on from there. Basically, what I was saying, we'll cut those ties with the 2 recording clips. Where basically the Pomeranian. You remember the scene about the Pomeranian? He brings the dog to the bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
And it's his wife's dog, but they've been divorced for however many years. And he's like, "Why the fuck do you have why you bring a Pomeranian to the fucking bowling alley, Walter?" Walter's a character that's sort of imbued with the past, definitely, and it brings a whole new layer to the character. I think when you realize that he's holding on to so many past traumas and events.
Well, I mean, as you mentioned in the beginning, when some people just don't get it, then they don't get the movie.
This
The
is
first
why
time
this film, yeah.
the first time I watched it, and I don't know if I was watching like the Coen brothers filmography, like in the order that they made it. I think I wasn't. I think it was just like haphazard. But yeah, I mean, like I didn't like it at the beginning. I
Oh,
thought
of
it was
course.
pointless. I thought it was meaningless, and that it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
And then I found out that the Coen brothers wanted to make it into like this kind of Raymond Chandler story. So it's like a detective story, but it doesn't really. If you read those books, it's not about the point at the end. It's really about the journey. It's just
Character.
like the way it's written and the character's traits and the people he meets, and that's Lebowski. And and then when I rewatched it, and I had this in my mind, so it's supposed to be kind of like this detective noir, but I guess more goofy. Yeah, it makes total sense.
Rich, though, this is a film intended to be rewatched. You have to rewatch The Big Lebowski to really get it. You can't get it in one sitting.
So yeah, I mean, like for people who don't get the movie at like the first time they watch it, I myself urge them to give it another try.
But
And
it's
if you
got the
don't enjoy
carriage
it
for
the
those
second
people
time,
too.
then you're just wasting your time. But like by the second time, you should enjoy it
Mhm.
somewhat because yeah, it's it is a comedy classic and it is a neo noir film on its own as well because like he does just like in Raymond Chandler books, he does actually solve the case
Yeah. I mean, to
somehow by
some extent, he
accident.
solves
By
it, but
complete
then,
accident. I didn't.
yeah,
I'm not sure if I got it the first time I was seeing it, and I think that was the issue as well.
he
Like the
solves
second
it with really no resolution for himself. He almost ends at the same place that he started. He's no different. He's not changed.
oh
Donnie's
no, there's a
gone.
character
Yes.
arc. I mean, like that's the same thing for most detective stories, right? I mean, does the detective learn something? He's not supposed to learn a lesson about humanity.
We're the ones who are supposed to learn a lesson by watching this because it also, so we have to keep in mind, like I said, this is a film meant to be rewatched. There are funny carrots that a first time watcher will get and laugh from because there's just some like good slapstick comedy in this and stuff like that. Like when he's kicked out of the back of the car, he's like, "I fucking hate the Eagles, man. Play the fucking Eagles right now." The taxi driver kicks him out of the car. But other things. So in the beginning, if you remember, when the news is on, in the very beginning of the scenes, this is an example of something you only get when you rewatch the movie. You have, I think it's Richard Nixon. "This unchecked aggression will not stand. It will not stand." So that's literally, the Times going played right there. Or maybe it was Ronald Reagan. I don't know. Some famous politician about, war and aggression. So it's a political commentary because later on in the film, the dude is sitting in a bowling alley. Donnie's bowling. He's talking about, like, "Man, no, this aggression will not stand, man." Or no, he says it to the Big Lebowski. He's like, "This unchecked aggression, it can't stand." So they bring it back and they're layering. Like, I don't know what you call this method, but something's trickled in the very beginning. The character picks up on it and recycles it later on. and it's a political commentary. Think about it.
Well, yeah. I mean, Coen Brothers said that their films are about bad people doing bad stuff to each other, and I guess like that's Lebowski as well. You know, you're supposed to like marvel maybe at the pointlessness of these acts. You know, they
Yeah,
could have all they could have all behaved like Lebowski.
you're right. It could have all been
I
the
mean,
dude.
like in
Everybody
his
was like the dude. Everybody was like
in
the dude.
his
There'd be no war.
kindness and the I don't want to say apathy. What's the
Nihilism.
yeah? Okay, yes.
The nihilists.
Must
The nihilists are in
then
the film. Yeah, it's a core part of
then
the film.
he's like that's maybe how you should act towards
No, no,
people.
no, no. I think the dude
Nice.
is counter. The dude is counter to nihilism. The nihilists are the scary ones. Like, we don't care about anything. We are nihilists, right? And the dude is more just like the peacemaker kind of thing in the film. Everybody behaved like the dude. There'd be no war.
So he is the mediator.
Yeah. But
Did you
wrapping up. Yeah,
did you
sorry.
notice that he's just repeating most of the time what someone else says?
He does say that, doesn't he? Yep. Yep. He's communicating what other people say. That's
But
true.
I like the point that he's the peacemaker and all this because he is trying to calm down Walter most of the time. So yeah,
And
I
he's
guess that's it.
communicating other people. Yeah, he communicates other people's like the exactly. He repeats what he hears on the news. This unchecked aggression will not stand. When they figure out that it's the kid who stole the money. What's that kid's name? I can't remember, but he repeats that.
Ronnie?
Ronnie, yeah, yeah, yeah. See what happens? You see what happened when you fuck a stranger in the ass? That's a little
Do you know that there's like a TV edit of of certain American films and they redub it. So in that version, it's do you know what happens when you meet a stranger in the Alps? And some people just seen that version of Lebowski and they just know that line.
Oh my god. All right.
Google
Well,
it.
we're coming up at the
It's what
time here,
happens.
Jan. We're coming up the time. We should probably let's wrap it up here. What I want to do is wrap it up with two notes, right? So first, favorite quote from the Big Lebowski. And then two, we'll go into what we're going to talk about in our next episode. Does that sound like a plan?
Ooh, wait, I was thinking about that. I would like to do an episode about the reemergence of the Who Done It.
All right. I like that. Yeah. So that's
You know,
examples.
Knives Out, see how they run,
Knives Out. Yep.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Then that director, what's
Agatha
that?
Christie
Ryan Johnson,
as
right?
hmm?
Ryan Johnson. Is that who
Ryan
directed?
Johnson, yes, Knives Out.
Okay. He does a lot of those whodunits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. And then
Brothers Bloom. That's also where kind of a whodunit caper. I don't know
Brothers what?
whodunit.
Brothers which?
Brothers Bloom.
Okay.
It's another con man story actually.
So, yeah, I think a whodunit could be good. So we'll go into that. There's a lot of different stuff. Did Ryan Johnson? Who's the guy who directed The Gentleman?
Guy Ritchie.
He does a lot of whodunits too, right?
I don't know if it's whodunits. It's like capers, crime,
Okay.
comedies. You know?
Yeah, yeah. He did. What were the other ones he did? He did
Snatch,
Snatch.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels,
We should do
and
Guy Ritchie at some point as well.
The two Sherlock movies. Oh, Guy Ritchie is my favorite.
Yeah, we'll definitely do Guy Ritchie at some point.
Over
But I think whodunit will be good. We'll go with Ryan Johnson. We're learning to that. So let's end it with your favorite quote from The Big Lebowski.
I think you already ended it. Like that was the most nice end when you said those two notes, and I said, "What's next episode?"
Ah, shit. Okay.
This is just an epilogue.
Well, you know what?
You,
I'll say this.
anyone
You're
else?
out of your fucking element, Donnie. You're out of your fucking element.